Hello everyone. So, in this session we will make character particle dispersion. So, let's continue. So, what I will make in this session, a character will run across the road and it will just hit the wall and will turn into particles. So, we will start making it. Before making, I will just go to perspective and here we will go to window. So in window, here you have many things. If you go to general editor, here you found all the things, but we will focus on visors. So you can have every presets plugins in visors. It's a stock preset plugin present inside Maya, so you don't have to download it separately. So just go over it. You found all the panels. You can go to Nparticles, Human IK, mocap. So we'll focus on motion capture, which is mocap. So I may have the run motion capture. So I will just click the data, press middle mouse button and drag into my viewport. Now it's been applied it to the viewport. As you can go to paints effects, you found all the things which you needed. These are the presets inside Maya software. So we'll not focus in this, we will just focus on the motion capture. So I just created this part by clicking over here. So as you can see, if I zoom, the particles is the size of the motion human is very high. So what I will do, I will just scale this down and press F for focus. So I think this would be fine. So I'm just selected the controller. Now what I will do, I will go to a plane and will create a plane. So this would be the plane. Press 6. As you can see, if I go to 100 frames and now it starts running and will hit to the surface. Okay, let's start to work in this. Now what I will do, I will just go to box, make a box, click, and the man will hit to the box and will start getting dispersed. So I will just put the box over here. Let's see, is it touching it or not? Yeah, it's touching. I think this is fine. Okay, now what I will do, I will just select the box and will on the dynamics or n dynamics, because we will focus on nucleus dynamics. So we'll go to n dynamics, and what I will do, I will go to n mesh, and here you have the passive collider, create passive collider. So we'll same do with the ground also, n mesh, create passive collider. Now what I will do, I will go to shading and I will go to shading and I think we'll go to show, and here we have the joints. So I don't need the joints now. So I will off this thing, and each and everything is fine. Each and everything is open. So I don't need the joint, because if I select the model, by default or by chance it can select the joints also. So that would be problem. If something happened with joint, all the animation will be gone. So make sure that you just off the joint in going to show, and you have the joint system here, just off it. And after that I will go to window, and here we have the outliner. So I will just on the outliner and will select the run skin, and now what I will do, I'll go to Nparticles. Here you have the Nparticle panel, and will create Nparticles emit from object. So when I click into the panel, emitter is fine. Emitter type, this is very important. So we need the surface emitter. So we'll put the surface, and I will go to I think edit reset. and put 0. So I will put 0 and will go to surface, and rest is fine. So when you apply, as you can see, this is the particular scene and here it's forming the emitter. Okay, so we'll close the same, and if I check what we are getting here, let's see. Nothing. No problem, we will work on this. So I will just select the emitter and we'll go to attribute editor, and here we have the emitter panel. And in emitter panel, what I will do, I'll go to basic emitter attributes. So this is the basic emitter attributes. As you can see, this is the basic parameter property features of emitter. So in basic emitter attributes, I have rate, particle per second. So now it's time to us to animate it. So I will just put somehow over here. Okay, if the model starts from its initial position and just run and hit to its surface. So what I will do, okay, we'll select this part, right click, set key. If you set the key, there would be a red line here, that means this particular frame has been animated by you. So just click when we'll start and right click, set key again, and after that for a while it would be uh, 10,000 unit, 10, 100,000, 10,000, or I think I will take around 13, 14, 15,000 in 10, 100,000, 10,000. Okay, now right click, set key, as you can see now it's showing that it's generating the particles. Okay, so this is fine, and now we'll go to first frame, and what I will do, I will just select the nucleus. Here you have the nucleus, and in nucleus here you go to the attribute editor, which is open by default because I have just worked in the particles, so it is just opened, and nucleus one is there, the panel. And what I will do, will go to gravity. So here you have the gravity and wind, and what I will do, I will just change the gravity. So here you have the gravity by 9.8, so I will change by 22. Okay, fine. And now let's have a look. As you can see, some of the particles getting up. Okay, no problem. And now I will select the Nparticles. So here you have the Nparticles, which is the particle source, and we'll go to attribute editor again, because attribute editor is very important. Each and everything what you have to manage, you should go to attribute editor and do the couples of adjustment for your own need, and after that you will get the result. So attribute editor is very important in each case. If you're doing modeling, texturing, lighting, animation, rigging, dynamics, you have to go to the attribute editor for your experimentation and all, for a good result. So it's very important. Now I've just selected the Nparticles, I've gone in the attribute editor. So here we have the Nparticle shape one, which is by default open. So here we have a particular panel called collisions, that means it's get collide with each other. So collide, we have self collide here, so we'll on the self collision. If I press play, what happens, see, the the particles getting collide with each other, as we can't see here, but we will see next. Okay, now so I will stop it, and what I will do now, I will just create a box. So here we have the create panel. Rather than dragging here, what I will do, I will just go to create, and here we have the polygon primitives. So I will off the interactive creation, and what happens, it will directly create a box. So I will just create a box which is a cube, and as you can see, it's created over here. I will press 4. As you can see here, I will just off the grid by here. Now if I focus in this part, I need the box to be small. So we have two boxes. The p plane the p plane cube is 1 is the wall, and the p cube 2 is the small box here. Press 4, press 5, and press 6. Go to your smooth view. Now what we will do now, I will just selected the p cube 2 and will select the Nparticle 1. So we'll select the Nparticle by control. Okay, and so in Nparticle tab we have one more thing, is that instance replacement. Okay, so we will just click over here, and what we are getting, let's see. As you can see, all the boxes are getting ejected out. See, as you can see, all the boxes getting ejected out. Now our scene is getting heavy, so I think we have to change the size of the box, because we need a more small. As you can see, these are the boxes which we have created. So select the box, press F, little bit of size, fine. Okay, now I will select this emitter one, and which is inside this character, and what I will do, I will go here. If I see the character hits the wall here, as you can see here, I will go to attribute editor and will go to emitter 1, and in basic emitter attributes I will just off this emitter system. So when it's hit the wall, little bigger back, now it would be 0 and set key. So let's check. Okay, we need more couple of adjustment here. So 15,000, right click, set key, and let's have a look. Because the meter is getting lost, because we have animated this particular key in between them. So 15,000 from here to this one, it's getting 0, and unit 10, 100,000, 10,000, set key. this would be fine. As I will just shift this box nearby. Now what we will do, now I will select the Nparticle one and we'll go to attribute editor, and here we have the Nparticle shape one. We have worked it many times here. So I had a emission panel, so let's check emission attributes. Okay, so I will open this panel, and here we have inherit factor. So here is the inherit factor. So I will just grab this little bit. I think 248 is fine. Let's see. So I'll go to window, and here you have a good feature and called play blast. So it will cache up your memory and just generate a video clip. So I will go to first frame, window, and play blast. Let's cache the thing, and they will produce a video clip of that thing. So let's have a look. So as you can see, it's collapsing on the wall, and we'll go to the first frame. Now as you have seen, it's collapsing quite well. Now what I will do, I will just click on Nparticles, as have a look, is it the particle is selected or not. So I think the particle is selected, and what we will do now, we'll go to here, and here you have one more features, which is the rotation. So I will just open this compute rotation, and we'll go downward. Here you have the instancer geometry replacement. So we'll open this, and so instance node, so I think these are fine. So here we have the rotation option. So in rotation option, here we have the rotation, and so here we have the rotation pp. So we'll change this. Let's check, is it fine or not. Instance geometry replacement. Inside instance geometry replacement, there is the rotation option. Inside it, here we have the rotation panel, so we have to check only rotation panel. Okay, so it will add random rotation axis into the particles. So I will go to rotation pp, click over here. Now I will just select the character, which is this, and will not select the emitter, only select the character. Okay, so I will go to channel box. Now this is also an important term, and because we have to hide this character, so I will go to at last frame. When it hits the wall, okay, so I will just turn the visibility, press S, sorry, S. In this time it's on, and after going to this place it would be off. And will press S. So we have two you can say key, and let's check from here only. Okay, fine. Now we'll go to first frame, and then we'll go to window, and we'll not using playbars right now because we have used it earlier, and we have outliner which is open by default. We have opened it earlier, and now what we will do, we'll select the emitter one and we'll go to graph editor. So how you can go is going to window, by going to window, and here you have the animation editor, and inside it you have the graph editor. So it's very complicated, but it's not so complicated as it's look like. We have so much more panels we will discuss in animation, but not in this topic. We will use some sort of tweakness only. Okay, so now what we are getting here, we are getting the emitter, and so now I will select the emitter, and we have to just tweak it into graph editor. So what I will do, I will go to window, and here you have the animation editor, and here you have the graph editor. If you click the graph editor, you see nothing, but if you zoom out by scroll, you see a tangent like this. So we have to adjust it right now. So what I will do, I will just select this particular follow and will move further. I think this would be fine. and select the top also. We'll move little bit up forward. So let's have a look. No problem. So we will move Control Z, move this little, sorry, we just have to maximize it. Just move little bit, and this one also. Now you can turn this thing, but we are not doing here because we have adjustment here. So now what I will do, minimize it, and I'll just select the skin only, and we'll go to graph editor again. So as you can see, there are the two coordinates, this one and this one. So we'll go to visibility. You can select it from here, and we'll select this. We'll move here. I will move here. Just put it over here. Let's check. Now it's showing. Okay, so we'll select this, move this downward a little bit, and let's check again. So I will press 4. Press 5. So you can see the character. So like this way you can also make the shape of any object through emitter and through nucleus, if you don't want to see its structure and all. But you can see here the hands are going like, okay, here you have the character now. So that would be a problem. So what I will do, pause this for a while. We'll go to graph editor and just select the skin only, and because we have on it visibility, if you off the same, it will follow its shape. So that would be a plus point. And now what we will do, just put it at the top by middle click, little bit of top. I think this would be fine. Now it's okay. It's getting splashed. So what I will do, I will select the emitter and will go to this part and will move the emitter. This part will move by 4 digit and will go to top. Move here, let's see. As you can see, it's producing the particles. So like this way you can tweak your object if you want any powered like thing, and you can tweak through emitter by going to, you can say, by going to graph editor. Now you can tweak, you have all the things here. So one by one you just have to do the modification and it will generate different results. So if I pause this, now as you can see here, I will go to 4, and because it's getting hang up, so as you can see, at first it just produce the power and then it will move. So like effects and all, if the character is getting angry and it's producing the power and will run through the same, you can also work like that. And for that, what you have to do, nothing, just make sure that you will select the emitter and will go to a graph editor, which is here, and will just turn both of them shift by shift. So we have just selected the emitter. If you shift the top part, that means the front part, the first part, this one, if you shift the first part, then it will just produce the power and then move. If you select this part and move to the back, what happens, it will just still in a stand position and it will just generate the power after going at a particular keyframe, at a particular timeline. So as you can see, it's generating the power. So now you have the idea how you can create or modify things, and just have to do in the different terms and all into graph editor. So you have all the idea that how you can manipulate the things, how you can change. If you change this, what happens, as you can see, it's generating a huge source of power. All the particles is going up and then the character will move, and see, the particles is left behind. So like this way you can tweak and have a good result. So you have to work in the graph editor. That means just select this point, move forward and see the result. Select this point, move forward, see the result. If you want to move it forward, just see the result, what happens next. So you have to do a couple of adjustment, like this, and if you just drag this down, what happens, just see. So you need a lots of experiment. Okay, so you need a lots of experiment, and you also have to work with the character skin. Go to your this particular part, and here you have the small point which is its property features. So you can change by middle mouse button, by going up and up and going here and here. So it will just animates its visibility. If you need more freedom, from here you can go to graph editor and just have the tangent and all, and you can animate the same. So like this way you can add extra things according to your need, and it's all depend on you. So it's all on you. So you can just adjust its timeline, and you can make certain keyframes for more animation. So you have all the features. As you can see, when it start is generating the particles, because we have shifted the its, you can say, its timeline here. Okay, so like this way you may have the modification. Select this part, move up here, let's see what happens. Select this part, move up here, let's see what happens. Control Z, and let's check the result. So you will get all the things. As you can see, it haven't generated the particles, and because we have moved so much forward, and if you move this backward, let's see what happens. Now little bit of particles has been generated. Like this way you can work, and select this part, move it up here, one more thing in this tutorial you have to examine, because we have told you the each and every parts of this tutorial, each and every panel. So you have to experiment one more thing. If you have just created the character and the particles and the box and the plane, how you can just eliminate these particles so that it will not show up here? So you can do it. Well, you have all the parameters known, so you can do it this thing. This is very simple. When this is at the back, these 2 points, when at the back, Control Z, sorry, the character has generated the kind of particles and just move forward. Or when this is at the front, so we have a gap between them. So after that the character run few frames, then the particles have generated. So you can have the experiment. Only 2 things you have to do. First, select the skin, just move it, you have the points here. Experiment the same, make play blast through window and just experiment it. And after that you just have to select the emitters, then you have the curve which is situated over here. So let's have a practice. Attribute editor is very important, as we have discussed many times, that you have to go through the panels and all. If you want to change the color of the character and the particles, you can do it well. So what I have to do, go to outliner, and I will select the cube and press F, right click, assign new material, and we'll press the blend for fongy, and we'll little bit of blue, or I think oranges is fine. Okay, there should be a little bit of transparency. Ambient color should be hide, condense should be hide, and also will change the character color. Go to assign new material. So for examine I just put that particular color. You can put it according to your need, so it's not a golden thumb rule. Okay, now you can change the color of your character, but I don't think so I can change over here because I don't need it. Let's have a look. So now you have the idea about how you can create the things like particles and all. So you can change the color of the character and the particles, but I don't think so I need in this part. So now you have the idea how you can change each and everything one by one, step by step. So you can do it well. You have to go to the panel of attribute editor and all. After that you can do the experiment, so that would be fine. I want you to just compose this shot, or like same you can compose it, render it the same. Okay, as you can see here we have the particles which we have just click over here, it's rendered that particular image. Now you have the idea, and make sure that whenever you're working you should save your file. So saving is very important, and just make a new folder for run character, no, Maya particle fx. Okay, and underscore 001. So sky is fine, enter. So you can change the color, you can change the character color, or you can even put the texture. You know how to rig, how to animate, so you can also apply on your own model. That would be fine. You can just make the ball more you can say more heavier by including the texture, putting some bump map or even a displacement map. Just put some environment at the back, just give the lights, the ambient light, the 3-point lighting, the indirect base or image based lighting. So you can just put each and everything one by one and just compose the whole shot. So that would be much more fine for you. So let's meet to the next session.